Welcome back to Scripture Roulette. My name is Cam.
I'm Trev.
And today, Trev's going to flip through the Bible and I'm going to have him stop at a random point, and then we're going to pick out a random verse and try to interpret it. After we do that, we're going to have an expert interpret it for us. So we're going to see how close we actually get.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Stop. Stop.
All right. There's a lot of red words in this one.
That's a good sign.
So we got Matthew 21:20. The lesson of the withered fig tree. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, "How did the fig tree wither away so soon?" So Jesus answered and said to them, "Assuredly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what is done to the fig tree, but also if you say in this mountain, 'Be removed and be cast into the sea,' it will be done. And whatever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive." The lesson of the withered fig tree. Matthew 21:20 through 22.
So my first initial thing is I believe that they're probably questioning God in some way, because he's telling them, but also, if you say to the mountain, "Be removed and be cast into the sea," it will be done. So he's basically saying to put faith in prayer and make sure that you're connected with God before you start asking for things, you know?
Right.
Because I think a lot of times people pray or they question God and they're like, why is this thing not happening to me? 90% of the time, God puts it in your life the opposite form. It's actually a test to see if you're going to go through it on his side or turn your back. And I don't know if that's exactly right, but that's how I would look at it. Like, just turn your faith to prayer, because if you're continually praying, eventually something's going to line up. Right. Whether you believe it's a coincidence or not, it's actually God.
Yeah. And I think part of it, to add on to what you were saying, is like, if you believe it to be true, then that will be true. Yeah, the very next story is Jesus' authority questioned. But I think it's saying exactly that, and like, you're going to get what you truly believe, not what you just say, not what you, because it says, how did the fig tree wither away so soon? So Jesus answered and said, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what was done to the fig tree, but also if you say this mountain. I'm going to need some help on that one. It seems like it makes sense, but I can't put it into words.
So, all right. So now we're going to have an expert break it down for us in a little bit simpler terms so we can understand it.
In Matthew 21:21 through 22, Jesus tells his disciples that if they have faith and don't doubt, they can do what he did to a fig tree and more. In the previous verses, Jesus is hungry and finds a fig tree with no figs, so he curses it to never bear fruit again, and the tree immediately withers. Jesus then tells his disciples that if they have faith, they could do the same thing to a mountain, telling it to be thrown into the sea or receive anything they ask for in prayer. Okay, so I think we just needed more context from the previous verses.
Right.
Because, bro, that just shows how powerful God is. He said he pulled up to a fig tree. Yep. It didn't have figs on it, and he cursed it, and it withered away. Yeah. And he said, if you truly believe, you can do the same to mountains. And I feel like that's a bigger picture. It's not just physical mountains. It's the mountains in your life that you have to overcome. You can throw them in the sea if you truly believe.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's all about faith too, because he said if you don't keep the faith, then none of that's going to happen.
Exactly. And that's, you just got to but it's crazy that the Bible is stories, firsthand experience. These stories are people that really saw this. And it's like, Jesus was a human, and church on Sunday, a big part of it was when the sea was having a terrible storm. and he was asleep. All the disciples came up to him and they were like, do you even care about us anymore? And he woke up from a nap. So it was like, that's showing how human he was. He was truly one of us, but the difference between us and him is he walked up to the ship and said, be calm, be still. And the sea was still. So it's just another example. He came up to a fig tree that didn't have figs and he cursed it so it could never bear figs again.
Wow. If you receive that and you take that and put it into play, that's going to go back to exactly what you said, moving the mountains in your life, whether it's physical, emotional, financial, that as long as you keep that faith and prayer and still believe no matter what happens, because bad things are going to happen.
Right. You have the power to throw mountains in the sea. Yeah. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Scripture Roulette. I'm Trev.
I'm Cam. Don't forget to like and subscribe.